Alright, Justin, I'm going to have you record a quick video on the feedback of the overall campaign that you're running so far. Okay, so firstly, looking at your ads, right? If I have to go and see all the ads, and if I have to break down by performance and clicks, you can see that currently you're generating clicks at actually 41 cent with a CPC of 1%. This is actually good, which means that this ad with this specific target market is actually working well at the moment. However, I understand that your conversion is poor at the moment, and after looking through all your materials, right, I think there is a few reasons why I feel your conversion is poor too. Okay, which I'm going to go through it at the moment. Oops, I think I can't. Okay, to start off with, right, I'm going to actually run you through your ads. So one of the key challenge your ads, right, is this is actually a bait and switch ads. So while you actually have a good ad, um, when you put such a strong statement, right, most couple regret this one thing. This the one thing all couples need to know before starting a family. If I'm a bypasser and if I see this ad, right, after clicking on the ad, right, the first thing I want to know is what's the one thing that I will regret on. And when I go to your landing page, it firstly doesn't answer what is the one thing that I regret, and secondly, yeah, you see, it doesn't even really answer, or it doesn't really touch on the point at all. So that means the connection between your ads and your landing page, right, is already off already. Yeah. So uh yes, so you probably need to change the angle of how you're running your ads at the moment. Secondly is on your landing page itself, right, there's a few things which you can further optimize. uh I don't think you need to make this all red, and I think that this one you can use a normal font. Use a paragraph font instead of a headline font, so that it's easier to read. Headline font is only good when it's big like this, especially when you're using Oswald. Yeah, then it looks easier to read, but when it's small, right, it's actually very hard to read, so I can assume that a lot of time this is forgotten already. And you have a bit too much red color, so I'll suggest just keep the red to the headline. For all this, right, instead of making it red, just bold it, okay, already. Okay, so that it doesn't look too glaring to the audience. And for some of your red, I think your red color looks okay. Okay, and secondly, on the headline, right, I think you can. I personally feel you can remove this statement. Okay, so just learn the three wealth management differences between the rich and the poor that has helped the rich to massively expand their wealth. Yeah, so that's enough already. And the poor to lose their savings rapidly. So if you still want to add in this statement, right, you can add it in the manner like this. Okay, so I'm just going to copy it to Microsoft Word. Okay, that has helped the rich between the. Okay, so you can do something like this. The exclamation mark you can put here, and this one you can just put dot 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 and dot dot dot. So you see, in terms of organization, yeah. Okay, so if I have to put this here. Okay, so you have something like this. This one maybe you can just make it look around something like this. Okay, already. Then three wealth management difference. Yeah, I don't think you need to highlight. You may have over highlight already to make it uh a bit confusing. So between the rich and the poor, yeah, you can highlight this way to expand, yeah, massively expand their wealth. Yeah, so I think these are all just the keywords that you just need to highlight. Okay, then this is enough. all married couple looking. So when it's on top also, all these things just caps the first font. Yeah, and etc. I think you know what to do for the rest already. Then it will look much neater. So ideally also when you see your headline, right, whenever possible, try to put the weight higher on top. Okay, so this is not the most ideal also, but if let's say, you see, adjust the font a little bit so that it looks heavy, then it goes down. Yeah, currently this way of viewing, I personally from my past experience, I feel this way of viewing is more tedious, yeah, as compared to this way of viewing the font, the way the font is being distributed. Okay, then for this also too much weight, if yeah, just change it to bold instead of red. Then give a bit more spacing here lah. All this all minor stuff. Fitness educator. Okay, I think that should be about all for your landing page. Then in your second tier landing page, I know you're trying to follow the format that I did for Victor, but I don't think that that's the best format for your landing page, because your landing page has a lot more content. So instead of using that as a reference, right, I strongly advise you to use this one as a reference instead. And of course, in your landing page, as much as possible, add in more visual. Yeah, so go and see raiseyourwealth.com f-6-steply, which is on sales magnet notes. Go and see their second tier landing page, which is what you're trying to replicate. A bit slow now. Yeah, anyway, just go and see and do something similar. Long story short, your headline is this, not this. Okay, so this should be the amplified one instead. I don't think you need this. If you have this, you can go before you go, but hold on before you go. Actually, this is okay also, but this should be the amplify part. So maybe you can just bold this in black color, bold this bigger, and make this smaller, but put this in red color. Yeah, and when it comes here, it becomes really dry already. So you need to find ways to make it look a little bit more captivating with pictures and etc. Or yeah. Okay, so this is it. Before I go, I just want to give you one more feedback on your ads. When you run your ads, right, it's always good to plan your ads before you start creating it. So to create some diversity within your ads, right, you can actually work on the paint. Okay, because sometimes you don't really know what the generation is looking for anymore, but you go on a full outright paint angle. I saw your ads is all very paint driven. So what you can do a paint, pleasure, paint, and from here, right, so you can put will you regret your future, which is what you're doing currently. Okay. However, like what I say, I think currently one of the reason why your ads is not converting is because it's a bait and switch, which people generally don't like. So you just have to take note of that. You can do bait and switch only if your landing page is something which is really relevant to the ad itself already. However, for now, the link is not there because there can be a lot of things that they can regret. It's not only financial. So yeah, so that's the tricky thing. One thing you have to take note of. So you also see on mobile, this is what you have need. The one thing all couples need to dot dot dot. Yeah, so you just take note on the amount of text that you have on mobile. If you think that the amount of text is important, remove away the download button. How to remove it? It will actually be here. You see this button? Put it as none. No button. Okay, so in pleasure also, you can go in the angle of building. Good, you have to think a little bit, but it'll be more of lifestyle. The key will be lifestyle and family. Yeah, lifestyle, family, or related to dreams. Okay, So another pain factor, what other pain factor can be considered? If you think about it, we have money, we have health, we have status, we have spiritual. These are all things that people are looking for. Yeah, so maybe it can be in a status angle. Yeah, something for you to think about. Um, it can be in a more comparison. I'm not sure. I'm just brainstorming out loud now. Yeah, so maybe from a status comparison, you can ask them, will your future self thank you 10 years from now? This is a decision you have to make today. Something like that. Okay, so do consider all this as you do your ads. Create a few variety and a few angle. Same feedback as your very first batch of ads before this is that actually now that I look at your ads, all your ads are actually in the same angle, which you can't really tell what works or what doesn't work. So one of the key thing is when in the course, if you remember, one of the key thing that we did is to help you identify the pain and frustration, what they do not know of, the misconception they have, and etc. So that part is important, because now you're assuming that they will regret this, or you're assuming that this is important to them at this point of time. uh, However, you need to test a few different angles to see what really matters to them. It may be that this is not important to them at all. Yeah, so if a new couple just get married, right, do you think they're worried about finances? At the start, they are not worried. In fact, the people who are most worried about finances will most likely be when they start having their first kid. Yeah, at least now, I mean, we are in the age generation where our friends are getting married, so you probably have to talk to them, find out what really matters to them at this point of time. Then your ad can work well. Yeah, okay. So I hope this advice will be helpful for you in looking at the next step of your campaign. And yeah, please don't give up. Please continue working on this. I think that with your current support, you should be able to get this out very soon already. Okay, thank you.